Hi guys, how's it going? How you doing today? Hopefully today finds you well. Today I am doing a tag video, and this is the round 2 of a tag that Samantha March and Allie Glines came up with called All About My Eyeshadow Palettes. I saw it most recently on Jen Love's channel, and I was like, why haven't I seen this yet? Where have I been? But truth be told, like, I've been living a lot in the planner world lately. Like, I've been watching so many planner videos, it's not even funny, to the extent that I've been thinking about coming up with a second channel all around planner content, but who got time for that? Like, I ain't got time for that. Maybe I'll do like a bonus video on this channel, because I mean, this is my new obsession. This is all about my obsessions, right? So anyways, long story short, I've been living in the planner community for a very long time, and I hadn't seen this yet going around, and I feel really bad about that. So I did some like binge watching on people with this tag, and I'm like, I need to do this. Like, I really need to do this. So I decided I was going to do it. All About My Eyeshadow Palettes, round 2, created by Allie Glines and Samantha March, and I most recently saw it on Jen Love's channel, but I will go ahead and link some channels down in the description box that you can go and watch these videos on as well. So let's jump in. But before we do that, for those of you new here, because there are a lot of you, I appreciate all of your souls so very much. For those of you who are new, my name is Donna. I am so happy to have you here today. I'm a lover of all things high-end, colorful beauty and self-care. I also work in the beauty industry for Ulta Beauty as a district leader, and I get a lot of education in my position. So I, on this channel, like to bring you all that education, so I do a lot of reviews here. I also do a lot of hauls and just general makeup chit-chat. I love to talk about makeup. This is where I come to do that. I pick you, Pikachu. Hopefully at the end of the day, you'll also pick me, and you'll want to subscribe before you go. I will make sure that all the prompts are listed down below. If you want to do this tag, I know I have some friends out there that are going to want to do this tag. Please do this tag. Please tag me. Let me know that you've done this tag. I would enjoy watching it. It's crazy to me to see everybody's difference of opinions. I'm sure I'm going to be one of those ones that everybody's like, wow, that's crazy sauce. Like, I never would have thought. There's a palette in here specifically that I don't think anybody has on their list anywhere. So let's do this. Let's roll into this tag. The first palette tag is my all-time favorite. I think this is one that might shock some people, because when I looked at my collection, I was like, do I have an all-time favorite? And the truth of the matter is this is one of the first palettes that I ever got, and it is just old reliable, really. It's maybe not a favorite because I love the color story of it, or I love the formula of it, but it is a favorite because I've had it forever in my collection. It is one that I know, tried and true, I can pull if I need to for just about anything I need. And that is this. This is the Tartist Pro palette. Who remembers when this guy came out? It was like, I paid $53 for it. I think it's like $49 now. But it has a wonderful mirror. It does stand up on its own. So if you need to use it as like a vanity, you can when you're traveling. I do travel. It's got a wonderful clasp on it. It keeps it shut. This is what the palette looks like, you guys. You look at my eye look and you're like, really? Yes. Yes, this is just basic. I know it's just basic, but sometimes basic is what you need. Now, along this edge are the shimmers in this palette, but the rest of it is just mattes, and they're gloriously beautiful mattes. And I think that this is the only palette that I have ever come close to hitting pan on any one of these shadows. And I know it doesn't look like it. I know it doesn't. But this white one specifically, this white one specifically, this black, this red, they all, you can't even see the Tarte name on them anymore. Like, I know I have used the poop out of this palette, and I know that when I think of a matte shadow and needing a matte shadow for any eye look, like, I know I can pull this palette and find just about anything I need through the lens of, obviously, neutrality, right? New favorite. So when I think new favorite, this might not be new to many people, but this is new to my collection within the last, I would say I don't think I purchased it in 2021, but I do think I purchased it late 2020. So 2021 was really my first round with this palette. So it became a new favorite for me because of that. And that is this. This is the Natasha Denona Metropolis palette. And this, again, is just another palette that I know that I can pull for any shadow that I need. It even has some really great blues in it. It's got some really beautiful cream to powder formulas in it. 18 of these shadows in this 28-pan eyeshadow palette are cream to powder formula. I think it's 18. It might be 11 now that I'm thinking about it, but I'm pretty sure it's 18. It is such a beautiful palette, such a beautiful formula. These greens are glorious. Even the golds, which I don't know if you know this about me, but I don't wear gold very often. Even these golds are really pretty. Like, everything about this palette sparks joy for me. And I think I would wear it every day if I could. Well, I can, but I don't because I have 200 palettes. So palette I keep for the memories. So this is the palette that I keep for the memories. This is the Urban Decay electric palette. This palette I keep for the memories because it's super old. It's the oldest palette in my collection. Well, besides one other one that I purchased at the same time. I only had one palette older than this and I decluttered it last year. I had purchased this palette because I thought it was pretty. This palette is what sparked the notion to start my YouTube channel. This palette is how I met my friend Lisa. She also has a YouTube channel here, and I love her so much. And because of the memories that this palette gives me, because of what it sparked, I can't get rid of it. The Urban Decay Electric palette looks like this. It did come with a brush in it. I have since, I think, thrown away the brush. I purchased this palette because it was pretty. I was looking at it one day at the kitchen table, and my partner, the love of my life, said, leave it to you to purchase something pretty that you'll never ever use. And I took that as a challenge. And I said, okay, we'll see about this. So I used it. Every single day for a month and a half, I used this palette and this palette only. Do you see the colors on this palette? Is it any wonder why these are the colors that I wear on my eyes and not neutrals? I wore this palette every single day for a month and a half. Proved him wrong, didn't I? This is just, I mean, God, it's just such a beautiful palette. And I don't think I could ever think about getting rid of it. My friend Lisa was searching eye looks using purples, and that's how she found me. And I couldn't get rid of it because of the memories that it has instilled in my heart. The most underrated palette in my collection would have to be this one. It is the Winky Lux Kitten palette. I got this in BoxyCharm, and I think that this is one of maybe 5 palettes that I still have in my collection that I got from BoxyCharm. Usually the palettes that they sent over in BoxyCharm were just not up my alley, but this is the color story. Again, not really anything special, right? But this pink here, this pink is the prettiest pink. What? Do you see? Oh my God. It is the prettiest pink. This white is the best like bone shade for setting your eye looks and also for like your brow bone. I use this pink also in my brow bone, but that like bone shade is also really great for it. This shadow right here, also beautiful. Like, wow. I think that this is just, I just don't understand why more people don't talk about this palette. And you know, I did a palette roulette on, I think all of these palettes actually, now that I'm looking at them. So I will go ahead and link my palette roulette series for you, not only in the cards, but down in the description box. I encourage you, I implore you to go seek out these palettes. This one specifically on that palette roulette, because man, everything I do with this palette just makes me happy. Like every eye look I come up with this palette makes, I just don't think Winky Lux gets enough enough out there. Like, I think they were made famous by their lipsticks that had the flowers. They were maybe Bombs Clear that had the flowers in them. But their eyeshadows are really freaking phenomenal too. I have the Mermaid Kitten palette as well. It's not as good as this one, I have to be honest. But I do love this palette, and I do think it's underrated. Like, you saw those shimmers. What? So my next one is not a favorite, but I can't get rid of it, and it is this one. It is the Huda Beauty Mercury Retrograde. Like, I know. I am odd man out. Everybody else loves this palette. It's not a favorite for me, although I really do want to purchase a new one, because what I love about this palette are these crazy ass shimmers. They are phenomenal. Glitter, so much glitter, which I hate, but phenomenal performance. You know, one of my subscribers told me that I should purchase this palette, and I reviewed it, and I don't think I gave it a fair shake in my palette roulette on it, but I did state in that palette roulette that the shimmers are the reason why this palette will remain in my collection. Like, there's only 9 in here that are shimmers, but I will continue to hold on to this palette because of those shimmers. The rest of the shadows, the mattes in here, honestly, I don't think that they're any different nor better than any other Huda Beauty palette out there. Like, I look at the rest of them in here, these mattes besides this blue one over here, and I'm like, yeah, those are the same mattes that are in every other one of her palettes. The shimmers, holy cow, beautiful. My fave collab. So I don't really have a whole lot of collabs in my collection. I think I have the Jaclyn Hill Morphe collab. I have the James Charles Morphe collab. I have the Jeffree Star Morphe collab. Morphe is not a formula that I love, so I would never pick one of those. Why I have so much Morphe is beyond me. I think it's because I bought it, a lot of it, early on, thinking that it was the shit, and then realized that it wasn't. So I don't really have a whole lot of collabs in my collection. I have a whole lot of people on, you know, YouTube that I watch, and I'm sure that they have come up with some pretty brilliant, amazing collabs. The one that I have in my collection that I love that I don't think I could ever part with, actually, there's 2, now that I think about it. ABH Jackie Aina, phenomenal. But I've mentioned that. I think I mentioned that in the last All About My Palettes, so I'm going to stick with this one, and it is the Angelica Nyquist Club Nebula. You guys, this is just, when I think of Angie, this is the perfect palette for Angie, and she created it, so duh, no wonder. But this is also the perfect palette for me. All of these glorious dark mattes, I love them so much, and they're pigmented and blend beautifully. And the eye looks that I created with this palette, if I can find some, I'll pop up. Even if I can't find some, almost all the eye looks on my banner on my YouTube channel are from this palette. I love this palette so much. It is just gorgeous, and the shimmers, gorgeous. Like, I can't even, like, this shimmer here, it's called Nova. Do you see that? This green one called Firefly, this one here called Firefly. You guys, they're just so sparkly, so pretty, just brilliant. It was a brilliant collab, and I can't thank Angie enough for collabing with this company, because it did many things. Not only did it bring me my favorite collab, but it also brought me my 2021 favorite. This palette could have fallen into multiple categories in this tag. I think of one that I didn't expect to love, which I think is the next prompt, but I also think of palette that sparks joy, which is a couple prompts from now. But most importantly, it falls into my 2021 favorite, and that is the Escape Pod. Like, when I open it up, you guys, this is not a palette I anticipated I would love, mostly because of the color story of it. It seems a little erratic, maybe, you know, not, it doesn't really go together all that well. The orange, the periwinkle, the hot pink, the brown, like what kind of hogwash is this color story? It goes together beautifully. It was very well created, very well curated. This row is entirely shimmers, and they are just the most beautiful duochromatic shimmers of my life. Like, again, favorite palette. I did not expect that this would ever fall into any kind of favorite for me, but favorite for 2021. I did not want to put this palette down. I continued to pull for it after the fact for months for those shimmers. It is just such a beautiful, beautiful, and I can't wait to use it again. Like, then when I look at it, I'm like, oh, I wish I could bring that with me. Oh, I wish I could use that too. I can. I know I can. But I also am on a mission to make sure every single palette in my collection sees love. So I won't pull it until every single palette in my collection sees some love. And there's still quite a few in my collection that have not seen love at all and have been in my collection for a year or more. So I won't pull it yet, but man, when I do, I know that I'm going to love it. I didn't purchase this palette, actually. My husband, or my partner, the love of my life, bought this for me, and I had already made a decision not to buy it because I was like, I just don't think I'm going to like that palette at all. Mostly because of its color story, and we'll get there in just one second. That is this one here. This is the Natasha Denona Trio Chrome palette. Even though I am a Natasha Denona stan, I can sometimes, I say that because last year was not a year for me where I was able to not pull a trigger on something I knew I wasn't going to love. This palette was one that I knew just by looking at it, like, I wasn't going to love that palette. And it's $129. So I was like, I'm not going to spend $129 on it because I know I'm not going to love it. Well, then that Christmas, I woke up, opened my gifts on Christmas morning, and this was in it. My love had ordered it for me and put it into my Christmas presents. And the reason why I wasn't going to pick it up, the reason why I thought I would absolutely hate it, is this is all pastels, except for this center section here, which is really about the trio chromes, which they aren't. It's all matte, 3 trio chromes, all matte, all pastel. You guys, this is like pastel on crack. These are so pretty. I loved every single eye look I got from this. I was really so butthurt with myself. I dropped it and shoved my fingernail all through. Like this one, and this one all have fingernail gouges in them. I was so mad at myself, but also so happy that JD picked this up for me because I wouldn't have done it. I wouldn't have picked it up. And it is just so pretty, and I am pretty surprised that I love it. Palette that sparks joy. So besides the, you know, Club Nebula, besides the Escape Pod, besides all the ones that I've already listed, all of those spark joy. And all of the following ones spark joy. But when I think about the ones that really spark joy, I had to go with 2. And I had to go with 2 because they are actually a set. And if you guys know my channel at all, you might know this already. Go ahead and guess if you think. But they spark joy because of how badly I wanted them and how bummed I was when I thought I had missed out on them, and how ecstatic I was to have a friend in California who went to a conference and they were selling them there. This is the Amor Eterno set by Melt Cosmetics. This is Muerte and Vida, and every single time I use these palettes, they spark joy. They're just so beautiful. If you guys haven't seen them, I will go ahead and grace you with what they look like because they are beautiful. This is Muerte. Oh my God. Beautiful red, blue, teal color story. This white down here is kind of like a golden shimmer. Oh my God. So pretty. Every color on this is in this palette, and that's what I love. Also, I love that they go together like a skull. I love that they have shiny bits on them. I love that they're tactile. I love that palette. And then Vida is the like warm summer piece to that. Again, Beautiful half of the skull, beautiful sparkly bits, beautiful tactile nature of it. And this is the color story, a little more normal than the other ones, right? A little more wearable, if you want to say that. But oh my God, you guys, these palettes spark so much joy inside me. I think that this collection was the collection of my lifetime. It was the collection that I wanted so bad. I could taste it, and I knew I had missed it. I knew that there was just no way I was going to get them. And then Grace called me, and she was at a hair show, and she said, hey, Milk Cosmetics is here, and they've got the Moratono collection. Do you still want it? And I'm like, yes, every single thing of it. I want every single thing. And it was like 40% off. Like, who could get so lucky? I could. I am so grateful for the people in my life. Like, I wouldn't have this if it weren't for my friends. So these guys spark joy in my life, and they're also palettes that I could never get rid of. So many people wanted that collection, and so many people were left out. Next one is newest palette to my collection, and I had to go back. I just recorded what I purchased from Sephora 2021, and I don't think that I purchased any palettes from Ulta. So I'm pretty sure that, you know, in the last couple months of 2021, so I'm pretty sure that this is the newest one to my, I'm pretty positive this is the newest one to my collection. If it's not, please don't come for me, because I'm doing my best here. I'm doing my best. It's the Pat McGrath Midnight Sun palette. I went back and forth on whether I was going to purchase this or not, because this is not a palette that falls into my regular color story, you know, of choice. I am a little bit pissed off right now because this outer container is already breaking, and you know, you spend so much, and granted, I know you spend so much on the palette, but part of Pat McGrath's appeal is also her packaging. So I'm a little irritated that this is falling apart already, but this is the palette. This is what it looks like. This is, of course, the Pat McGrath, you know, outer cartridge, what it looks like. And then this is the palette. Again, not something like super like out of this world, but man, these last 4 shades over here are gorgeous. This periwinkle is so pretty. This Blitz Astral, it's just so pretty. You guys, I don't think you guys can see it. It's not doing it justice. I'm not doing it justice. I'm not doing it justice. Maybe you can see it there. There we go. You guys see that? Oh my God, so pretty. These are just gorgeous. They're gorgeous shadows. This is also a palette that, like, way back when it first launched, I was like, no way, not purchasing that. That's totally not my style, not my color. What is with this hair over here? Not my style, not my, oh, now it's worse. Not my style, not my color story. I would never. I did, and I love it. And the last prompt is the first palette that you used in 2022. So here's the thing, like, I would not ever know, right? Because it's March. I would not ever know if it weren't for my palette roulette series. So I know that the first palettes were part of the first palette roulette that came out in 2021. So the first Monday of 2021, I think, was January 4th or January 3rd, something like that. So I know the first palettes that I used were these two here. And I used both of them in tandem for the week that I was reviewing them. So here's what I have to say about that. I loved this palette. I didn't expect to love this palette. This one also could have fallen into a couple different categories in this tag. I loved this palette. This is such a beautiful, beautiful gray tone, like kind of lavender, kind of purple, kind of blue, cool tone color story. Not me. This is so not me. This is so not me, but oh my God, I love this. This palette I thought I was going to love, and I actually didn't really like at all. Like, it was okay, but it just wasn't anything special. I love her Obsession palettes. I just wasn't, I wasn't a wholehearted fan of this guy. I loved this one, so I'm happy that I got to use it first in 2022. It was part of my 2022 New Year's Eve eye look too, so there's that. Nice and sparkly and blue and smoky and beautiful. That is my all about my eyeshadow palettes round 2 tag created by Allie and Samantha March, and I would love to hear your guys's. If you guys have some out there that I haven't watched yet, please let me know. I would love to come watch it. If you do the tag, please tag me, because I would love to come watch your video. And when you tag me at my new obsession, it shows up in my feed as people who have tagged me. So I would love to come watch your video. I hope you enjoyed mine. I hope you enjoyed my video. And if you did, I hope that you'll give it a thumbs up. I hope that you liked us enough over here that you're considering sticking around, subscribing to my channel, maybe hitting that notification bell, maybe watching me for years to come. If so, welcome. Thank you so much. I appreciate you so much. I'm trying to hit 1,000 this year. I'm quasi close. I think I can do it. I appreciate every single one of you for being here. Thank you so much for watching today. I hope that 2022 is treating y'all kindly. I hope you and yours are well, that you're safe, that you're sound, that you're healthy, that you're getting along as best as you can in this crazy, chaotic world that we're living in today. I hope that you all are loving each other, but loving each other from afar. And until next time, bye guys.
Oh my god. My lips are so crusty chapped. Can you guys see that? I hope you didn't see that the whole video. They look awful.